Daredevil Nation? It's Wednesday afternoon, and you know what that means. I like to address all the time zones when I introduce the show. Afternoon, evening, whatever time of the day. It is the Micah Browny Show. Let's get it going. He is the MC of Nitro Circus Live, the voice of action sports, the man with the absolute safety plan, the host of our unreleased podcast, The Freestyle Files, the greatest hugger on the planet, and the founder of Division BMX. That is Micah Crans. I changed the order.
Oh my god, I should have put my Division shirt on.
And over here, we've got the secret force behind all of our ticketing decisions. Architect of some of the wildest Nitro moments, the floor reporter for our live shows, and the guy who taught Bilko everything he knows about comedy. That is Nathan Brown.
Hi.
Yeah. Yeah, Brownie.
Yeah.
Our guest this week needs no introduction, but let's give him a super long one anyway. Travis Pastrana called him, and I quote, hands down the best action sports athlete alive today. He's earned himself 4 Nitro World Games wins, 2 in scooter, 2 in BMX. He's got 3 X Games gold medals in BMX. He earns those contest wins with constant, unwavering progression, and he's arguably landed more world first tricks than anyone. The official tally is such a high number that keeps growing, and none of us at Thrill One can count that high. But among those world firsts are novel combos, tentpole records, and seemingly impossible tricks. Things like the first BMX triple front flip, the first 1080 front flip on scooter and BMX, and the first double front flip 360, forever known as the Silly Willy. There's so many more, but now he's started his own action sports compound in Australia that's focused on progression, where up-and-comers can work on the next generation of impossible tricks. He's the rare icon who's still deep in the game, and we can't wait to see what he does next. Please give it up for Ryan Williams. Whew. Take it away, guys. I almost ran out of songs.
Get a breath. I was going to say, get a breath in.
Yeah. Right.
Wow.
Well, Willie, we'd love to stay and chat, mate, but that intro's so long, the hour's up. So thanks, mate. Buddy, thank you. Thank you for coming. Thanks for joining us again. You were our very first guest all the way back in episode 1. This is episode 21. So, buddy, thanks for coming back and jumping on with us.
Yeah, too easy. Thanks for having me.
Mate, it's a pretty big moment for us. We officially have a naming rights sponsor, Tax Act.
No way.
You know, you would look after your taxes very well. You've got a lot of expenses and kind of business goings and outgoings.
Yep, just recently been starting to do more of that because of r-willy, yes.
And let's be honest, action sports athletes have never been great with the tax man, so Tax Act will make it really easy for all of you. And you know what? As a bonus, if you file your taxes with Tax Act, you go into a contest to win a signed Travis Pastrana pit bike, a hot lap with Travis around an NRX track. Some money can't buy VIP experiences that we have not even made up yet. So file now with Tax Act for your chance to win any one of those. So thank you, Tax Act, for presenting the Micah and Browny Show. How'd I go?
Wow.
Did I pass?
You smashed it. I want to get a pit bike.
Yeah, I want to start doing my taxes.
Yeah, you should probably do that.
Micah.
Hey, Willie.
Real quick.
Willie,
The bot is broken for the Tax Act sweepstakes link, so if you look below the stream, everybody, there's a panel down there that you can click to link to enter those sweepstakes. Sorry to interrupt you, Micah.
What's a bot?
Don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
Inverted look bot. He keeps chat in order.
Oh,
He's a mad
that's
dog.
like the things that rigged the election and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. That's the one.
That's the one. Okay, cool. Moving on. Micah. Hi, Micah. Where in the world is Mike? Quick.
Well, Willie, I found someone selling a motorcycle. Are you interested?
What kind? Oh, hey!
Hey!
Get us down! Dude, the absolute sender on Instagram.
Oh, you gotta get in close. We gotta fit in here. Let me get you high.
Yeah,
How do we do? Now we fit.
We're tight.
I do.
What is up?
Where are you
that's
guys?
it.
We are in pretty much, it's called Laverican, Utah. It's just on your way out to Virgin and Zions.
Get my head in there.
Yeah.
What are you
Is
guys
Curtis on
doing?
the trip with you?
Yeah, we're in Mountain Bike Heaven. We're out here filming with Suntour Suspension Company, and we have like a 4-day shoot of just riding the gnarliest rampage style stuff out here. So,
Oh, damn.
yeah.
And who's we? Who you got with you?
We got a bunch of, it's just all the Suntour team. There's like Carson Storch, he'll be like Kyle Strait, like all the heavy hitters that come from like the downhill free ride world are all on this. So I'm getting baptized by fire with all the big boys out here.
Dude, that's the worst.
Mate, I'm sure you're holding your own based on the little snippets we've all seen on social media the last couple of days. What's your big brother Micah doing on these shoots?
I told someone I know how to take photos, so they hired me to be here.
Oh my gosh.
No idea how to shoot photography. This is going to be, I'm so out of my element and over my head, and it's all outdoors. But I did sneak my way on a trip with K-Dog.
We're always together. Me and Micah always find a way to team up.
Just get Curtis to set up the camera on auto and then just point and shoot, brother.
Yeah.
Or you get on the mountain bike and Curtis shoots you.
Yeah, I pretty much just plan on putting my camera mode on that square green box and just holding down that trigger until something happens, right? Isn't that
Sounds
how
good.
photography works?
Exactly.
Hello? Thank you. So that's planned. That's
Okay.
why. Anything you want to say before you dip out?
No, just wanted to come say what's up. And I knew that he is talking with all you guys and wanted to come say hi.
Hey,
It's been a while since I've seen
Yeah.
you.
guess what? You know what? We should we had one of our social media boxes to tick today. You know how I usually run through that list and it's very impersonal.
Yeah.
This item number 2 on the list, Curtis Downs today has been announced for Nitro World Games Best Trick. Is this true or false?
That is true.
Hey!
We are locked and loaded for it. Stokes have come out.
Right.
Ready for it.
Micah, very, very real possibility that number 1 and number 2 guys on that podium could be with us right now, right?
Yep, exactly. I'm changing Curtis's nickname to the R-Willy Killer, so you better look out, R-Willy. It's coming. You better come. You better ride hard, baby. There's people chomping at the bit constantly. Don't you ever rest. Don't you ever rest. The people are coming. The memes are being made. The shit talk is thrown your way.
Yeah, mate, diamonds are made under pressure.
There it is.
Hey,
There
Willy,
it is.
Wait, I'll just move back for a second here. Have a look at this. You can see if you
I'm sorry, your microphone's in the way of all those medals. I can't see anything.
Willy, for real though, how good is that to like hear that K-Dog is going to be at that contest?
No, it's sick. I'm excited because they've actually got some extra competition. You know, I might not be like the top dog. I might get some of my r-willy crew. They're coming up. They're doing some crazy stuff. I've got guys like Gecko, and he reckons he's going to do a triple front flip. So that was actually one of my hardest tricks I had listed at the last Nitro World Games. So we'll see how they go.
Make it hard to keep your job, Willie.
Yeah, right. They're going to have to give me 20% of their purse.
I tell you what's crazy. I tell you what's crazy about that is Gecko talking about doing this triple front flip, and it's a perfect segue into the Nitro World Games qualifiers we're running at Willy. Willy, how about you tell the audience where officially that's going to be? We're going to. Hey, Charlie, will you play the video and we can kind of just talk over it? The qualifiers video, and Willy can kind of talk about. So we haven't really officially announced where this is going to be. I think most people knew, but Willy, take it away.
Yeah, so fortunately enough, I have a mega ramp in my backyard, if you don't know, r-willy land, and pretty much Nitro Circus came to me, Nitro World Games came to me, and they're like, can we do a qualifier at r-willy land? And I thought, why not? Like, that's a perfect idea. I've got the setup to be able to practice tricks and then just let anyone that could give it a go, have a go, you know, like send in their submissions, see if we can find a lone wolf that maybe we haven't heard of before. Maybe someone will come out of nowhere, come to mind and do some absolutely insane stuff and qualify himself for the real world games going on in October. So I'm super excited because it just gives more chances to the people that live around me. I know there's a lot of people that have been coming out to my Willy Land and like really progressing and doing well. So this is kind of just like some extra motivation for them to come out and do their best and see if we can push action sports even more.
Yeah. So as you guys heard earlier, the Russian bot is broken, but if you go to the website, it's got all the details of how to enter this contest. But basically, you've just got to use the hashtag Nitro World Games qualifier. And Micah, you know nothing about this. We don't fact check here on the Micah and Browny show, but I'm not sure there's ever been an action sports competition anywhere in the history of action sports that has basically had an open cast call. So the field for BMX and scooter best trick is set at 12, and we've invited and had acceptance for 11 of the 12 spots. So we've left one spot open, and basically what we've done is we're going to have a 12-man scooter and a 12-man BMX best trick contest next month at r-willy Land to pick this final spot. And what Willie was saying about his mate Gecko, one of the guys that rides Willy Land every day, he's talking about winning with a triple front flip, and he's got to come through this qualifier at r-willy Land. Like, he's not even in the final field yet. So I think it goes to show this kind of little talent farm that r-willy Land is breeding. And there's going to be a bunch of those hillbillies at this contest, but it is open to all of Australia and New Zealand. The contest closes March 12th, but I think it's me and Petey have been following the Nitro social media chat daily. Like, we are getting not thousands, but pretty close to thousands of posts, like reposting all like 100+ entries. So Brendan Lupos, Jay Tui, Willie, who else? Todd Miner, all sending Nitro these videos. And the great thing is we don't actually pick the winners. So Nitro Circus, Nitro World Games aren't picking this field. The guys that run X Games and everything else, Sports.com, are doing this. So we're removed from it. We just give them the hashtag and then they pick it. So what have you heard of anything like this before, Micah?
No. There's been some qualifying stuff like that before, but it just takes almost a day before a contest to do it, and you just don't have time. I think it's a pretty fair way to do it. I just, man, it's gonna take a never been done before trick to even qualify to get in there. It's not gonna be. It's gonna take some extracurricular to even get to that point. So what a wild idea. Who thought of that? That's a pretty good one. Nice work.
It's a group collective. It was actually, to be honest with you, it was actually Willie spawned this idea in our heads about 6 months ago. He said, why don't we do some qualifiers at r-willy Land? So it was his brainchild initially. And you kind of often dismiss a lot of these action sports guys' ideas because you are lunatics. And then it was one of those things that just kind of stuck in our heads, and we're like, it's obviously, in the current climate, it's difficult to really kind of set that ramp up somewhere and get everyone in. And it is an expensive exercise to set up the Nitro Giganta ramp or a freestyle motocross setup. So Willie having kind of a one-of-a-kind setup really in anywhere in the world, and opening his gates up to the kind of the public for this. And obviously you've got to go through a kind of tough criteria just to get into those gates. I think it's something we're really, really excited about, and it's another reason to get really excited about Nitro World Games for us. And they'll just have to sign some paperwork, and everything will be fine. It's a but honestly, it's a legal department's nightmare, but we've got it all through. Matty Morris, our head of security, OH&S and security, stressing a little bit, but I've been like, I text Willie kind of pretty much daily at the moment, with a random question like, "Can we use your dad's toilet? How many cars can we park? And then, can your mum run the catering for us?" So it's really like, it's just such a unique event. But I just think it's going to be so great. We're going to create a whole digital series out of it. And
do you think the Bulls ever called Michael Jordan and was like, "Hey, can we use your personal court? And you think your moms could come and make some food? We're gonna have tryouts at your house." I mean, come on, dude. What is happening here? Come on.
And I think we've spoken about it with every guest that we've had on this show. It's just that our action sports athletes are just so accessible to the public, like other sports, like the Michael Jordans of the world are just not. And Willy doesn't have to do this, right? Willy's first invited. He's the defending champion scooter and BMX, so he doesn't have to do it. Like he's potentially identifying a scooter or BMXer that could beat him, right? Like what's in this for him really, and he still does it. And I think that just says a lot about who Ryan Williams is.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, cheers, man.
So thinking about just, while we're going to kind of just keep blowing the r-willy trumpet right now, Willy, I asked you to find your favorite video on Nitro Circus in recent times. So I want to play that now, Charlie, and then I'm going to play my favorite video of you. So, Charlie, will you play the first one? And Willy can kind of talk us through this.
Can I guess your one after?
You can guess, and you will not get it right, and it's not the no helmet.
Oh, damn. That's what I was going to guess.
The only problem with that, Brownie, is I don't know which one is which. Which one? Give me a hint.
I can tell you my one. It's the New Zealand.
Yeah, New Zealand. New Zealand
slide. Rafting.
Okay, we don't have that. We ended up not having that one.
This is going very well. All right.
The rafting one we don't have. But we do have. That
Willy
was
winning Nitro World Games.
Okay. We do have that.
This is why I shouldn't skip the pre-production meeting.
The other one was I couldn't find it on Vimeo anyway. It's really hard. Oh my gosh, what am I wearing on the back of my head?
Look at this slow look. Slow look is amazing. A beard r-willy, I like that.
Does everyone have volume, or does the
audience
does the crowd have volume?
The audience does.
Okay, so oh my god, look at that beard. It's horrible. Look, there's the r-willy killer coming in strong, huh?
Yeah, look at it. You're shaking already. I can sense it.
He's got to add an extra whip for it to beat me.
Oh, could be there. You never know.
5 whips.
Look
Oh
how
my god, why did I grow a
model
beard? It's horrible.
I like that.
I grow a better beard now.
Man. Remember this qualifier? Did you ever make it out to Lake Paris, Willy?
I've been there, but I didn't make it out for the qualifier. I think we're on tour or something.
Yeah, this was happening whilst we're on tour.
Is this the day that I won both? I think this is when I won. No, this is when I only won BMX.
No, this is where you won both.
No, it's not, because Jordan Clark did triple fronty no-hander, and I was like just getting whooped. That was the first time he ever tried a triple front flip no-hander, and he did it first try.
You think either of the Front brothers will be involved in upcoming big jumping events, or are they retired to?
No, they still ride scooters a little bit, but I don't know if they've got the invite because they didn't do too well at the last one.
Yeah, just watch this space. That's all I'll say about that.
Cool. I love this is the best podcast because we always just tell the truth. Oh, how cool is that trick? That bought you a house. That was awesome.
Yeah, now it's buying everyone else's houses.
You're absolutely right. It's that's gonna win Olympic medals. Don't get it twisted.
You know what I should have done? I should have named it some fucking. Sorry for swearing. Some dumb stuff.
You should have named it something really inappropriate, so I had to yell it into a microphone every night.
Yeah, exactly. Or like something with my name in it, and then I could have got like some royalties from it.
Yeah, wicked great.
That was the very first World Games when all of us who were kind of new to the contest scene. Like that was the first World Games, and everyone just thought Willy was a shoo-in to win scooter and might contend for BMX, and the opposite. Yeah, and it was the opposite. Time, right?
I knew it. I said it. I was like, dude. Oh, you go, Micah.
No, like you were so stoked to lose. I've never seen you so stoked to not win a contest in my life. You were so happy someone else to beat. I remember you were stoked. You were like, if this is what it's going to be, it's going to be. But I think that motivated you to just destroy BMX the way you did.
Yeah, I don't know. I just knew that. Well, I don't know. I even said that the scooter contest was harder to win than the BMX contest.
Yeah, and I think a big reason for your stokedness on that weekend, Willy, like that really put scooters on the world map, right? That was part of that television package. It was a big moment for scooters that, you were kind of 6 years in the making. For you were kind of really very much at the forefront of that kind of movement to get scooter respectability and everything else. So that was a big part of it, right?
Yeah, 100%. I remember just being so stoked that we were like in that contest, and I remember being so happy to be able to tell people that we were going to be in a contest. And I remember it was like a really, really big thing for scooters. I remember in the community, everyone was like blown away that we were actually going to be in like a big contest that was like, say, as big as X Games and stuff, and like other big contests. We finally had like our foot in the door of a contest that was huge and had all the other sports as well. It wasn't, we had some big scooter contests that was our own little thing in our community, because we had like the World Championships where you had to like qualify in Australia and then you got invited to the Worlds. But we had nothing where it was like, we had no foot in the door in like anything that was every sport together. It was if it was all the sports together, scooters weren't included. But then that was like the foot in the door, and I think we actually did really well. I think that the crowd actually really liked the scooter contest, because you see tricks that have never gone down before on BMX either. You'd think that maybe the crowd would think that, oh yeah, they're just going to do tricks that the BMXs are doing, but they're on scooters. But we do like our own. I mean, not anymore. We kind of, BMXs have started to do our tricks as well. But there's just unique tricks that that go down on scooter that you never see on a BMX bike. So it still intrigued the crowd, and I think that it was overall like a really good event. That's why I was so stoked. Yeah, because we just had such a good performance. Like we had guys throw down, and like I know Capron did really well. Like did triple front flip, and then did some other crazy trick that like had never been done before. And then Jordan went down, and I think we only had like 3 or 4 jumps, and we had to land 2. And do so, for everyone to do so well, it was like an incredible like feat for all of scootering to be able to land those tricks within like the set amount of jumps.
Yeah,
you
no one
on the podium.
So, no, yeah, you weren't on the vote, and none of you guys would have. Probably you would have had Willy with Nitro Circus, but like in front of 25,000, 30,000 fans as well. It was like that was a special day, huh, Micah?
Yeah, I mean, to kind of sum up Ryan's point too, like inline never came back. you know what I mean? Like, and neither did skateboarding. Like, but there was that France, like. I agree with him. It did hold, but yeah, that was one of the most amazing days of my life. My dream was to announce kind of a show like that where it was everything combined, and it was such a cool thing watching Pastrana shine and like Willy in his element, and like watching like Gavin Godfrey do incredible things I never thought possible, and Curtis just to the top, and Schmitty telling me before the show, he's like, I always promised myself if there's a Resi contest, I'm gonna win it. Like I was dreaming of this stuff, and man, the people got to do it, and like that contest changed my mind on a lot of things. Like I was pretty hard nosed before it, and then after it, I kind of understood why the industry was going that way with safer ramps, but bigger ramps, but really aesthetically overwhelming ramps. And I think the safety trade off and parallel is without a doubt the most important thing. And if anything, Willy's proved that if it needs to be done to a landing, it sure as shit will be done to a landing. Yeah. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Tell me how you're highly opinionated. It's one of the reasons why you're the host. Your name's first on this show. How did your kind of opinion of scooters change over from being a pretty hard-nosed BMX guy and then kind of joining the Nitro Tour and doing Nitro World Games and meeting and seeing r-willy in person all in 2016?
Look at the smile on Willy's face. Did you see the smile on that man's face? Look at it. Yeah, Mike, tell me how your opinion changed. That's what I want to hear. But no, he more than deserves. Go ahead.
Tell us.
So I was around when scootering was big in the 80s, in the end of the 80s, man. I had a little pink Zoot scoot. I don't know if you know this, but they had plastic mag wheels, and they had 2 brakes on the front and the rear, and it was something you did when you weren't riding BMX. It was just like a fun toy thing, right? And then it completely was erased off the earth when action sports died, when skateboarding, and I mean, there used to be guys on quad skates. They used to, break their knees and go up and down vert ramps and stuff, So it died, and it was let it be dead. And then I remember my friends getting those Razor scooters. Those were the first kind of scooters that brought it back. And there'd be a pile of them in the corner of my friends' shops because they were just destroying them. But it was always something they just kind of did it for fun. You know, we always talked a bunch of shit on it and went from there. And then all of a sudden you watched companies, and I'm pretty sure like a bunch of BMX people that like helped start branding, or like I'd heard like Mad Gear was started from some BMX brand or something. I'm not 100% sure, but I thought that you'd start to see these scooters for sale and they were for kids. And then I remember announcing my first contest and looking over at a scooter rider, and there was a scooter rider with a beard. And I was like, wait a minute, this is getting really different than what I'm used to. And then it was instant hate from there on my end. Anything that's different and, you know, could possibly take a paycheck away from BMX can't be good. So I was one of the bigger shit talkers out there, probably just saying it was lame. And then, man, when you get around really talented, passionate people, your opinions change, you know, like I'd said the same thing about mountain boarders at one point in my life, and I met a bunch of mountain boarders, and they were some of the coolest people in the world. And then after being on like that first tour with the Funk Brothers and with Willie, it opened my mind to just how insane those scooters were. And how I had always thought of it was scooters were like a gateway drug to BMX. I learned that scooters more than hold their own and are in a staple of themselves, and like kind of got over my own ego of like, well, so if they're doing it, they must do it because they think someone must think they look cool doing it. And then I learned that it's more of the passion and the fun of it all. And, you know, as you get older, you become more accepting of things. And yeah, just from watching Willie ride, and from him, the minute someone said do it on a BMX bike, and then he did better than anybody else on a BMX bike, I would have been Willie's biggest critic, and he shut me up pretty quick. Now I'm one of his biggest supporters. And now, like, I hire scooter riders for my shows, you know, like I talk to Neckbeard all the time. Like I like the industry. I like the dudes. They've been really good to me. And I'll be the first one to put my foot in my mouth and say I've been wrong in the past, you know, but yeah, scooters are quite a wild thing of their own. Watching what Dante can do on those things, and like what Tanner Fox was doing and what Willie was doing, like there's guys doing bigger rails on scooters than have ever been done on BMX bikes. It's just insane. And then Flatland, like it's just so new that I've learned that when it's new, it's scary. So now that it's kind of held its own, it's
fear the unknown. That's got to be humbling to hear that, Willie.
Yeah, no, but it's like the same with like, I feel like a lot of people have that view, like heaps, like it's just kind of ingrained in you, and then you start to realize that people are just doing things for the sake of like, because they like to do it, you know, like because it's the same passion, it's just a different contraption, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like
you throw it back all the way to the very first Nitro Circus live tour in May 2010.
Oh, yeah.
The scooter and rollerblade segment was a gag segment. You know, like the whole 4-minute segment was making fun of Chris Haffey and Andrew Brassard, the fact that they were riding a rollerblades and a scooter in this show with all this other gnarly stuff. And
they would say as we dropped in. I remember the tour. They would say as I dropped in, we got them, we kicked them out of our skate parks, and now they're here in the show. That's what they'd say.
Yeah, and then
really?
Nitro quickly realized how wrong that was, and it's funny how the tour evolved into, you know, I would say Chris Haffey and Ryan Williams, along with probably Dusty and Trav, are like the most respected figures within the athletes. They're like kind of the day one guys who, and Haffey and Willie in particular, who just kind of did so much. Like Haffey brought rollerblading back to life, and Willie really put scooters on the world maps with the help of Andrew Brassard, our first ever scooter rider in the show. And I've just loved the evolution of that scooter industry. I feel like I've had looked at it from the sidelines from the very beginning, and I must admit, sometimes I clap back at some of the trollers and haters on social media when they say shit like scooters are gay. If scooter was a gender, it would be a woman. Like, what does that even mean? Like, it's just, there's some people that are just
Can I make a point? I'd like to make a point. It's definitely like, you know, when like abuse in families. It always like comes down from generation to generation. That's what action sports is. Like surfing talked a bunch of shit on skateboarding, so skating talked a bunch of shit on BMX, so BMX talked a bunch of shit on skateboarding. And in the end, like, who is anyone to tell anyone what child's toy they should be riding or having fun with?
Mm-hmm.
That's
it.
That's it. Yeah, you're all adults.
We're all a bunch of idiots
on from children's toys, and I think that's part of the charm and what makes action sports great. Hey, thinking about that very first tour, I wanted to play another clip. It's Women's History Month, so we're kind of doing a bunch of edits from some of our gnarliest women in Nitro Circus. So, Micah, do you want to roll the Jolene clip? I just want to talk about Jolene. Willie, what did you know about Jolene before meeting Jolene?
Oh wow, it was so long ago. I think I knew her from just like the Nitro Circus like movies and the show, sorry, and just I don't know. I think I remember being like kind of intimidated by her when I met her because I thought she was very like intimidating. I thought she could definitely like beat me up, even if I like was trying to fight her.
Yeah. So this is the very first Nitro Circus live show in Brisbane, May 8th, 2010. And so what was happening here is, so we did, the first show was like out of control, and it ended up going for about 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
And you imagine so like children falling asleep in parents' laps. And one of the big reasons was Trav was just taking everything over, and Trav just didn't let Jolene not get this, coached her through. I think it was either attempt 3 or attempt 4. This was the first woman's backflip on a dirt bike, and it was just such a special moment. And you know, I think looking back to those early days, Jolene wasn't the gnarliest woman in Nitro Circus. She was just one of the gnarliest people in Nitro Circus, period. Micah, what's your kind of dealings with Jolene? I know she was kind of out of the live show before you came in, just about, right? That transition happened?
Is this video all from one show? She took all these hits in one show?
Yeah, it's on a bit of a loop now. She didn't crash 15 times.
Like there's 4 attempts here.
Yeah, there's 4.
She did it. So those first 3
all in one show.
That's a tough individual. Forget it's a woman. That's a tough individual, man. Yeah. Oh my goodness. No, I see Jolene in the dressing room. I'm extremely intimidating. She's a very attractive woman with a lot of skills. And now she's on CSI, so I will never say hi to her. I'll never introduce myself. And I'll always stare at her from a distance, always. And hopefully she'll never see this, and my secret will never be out. Because I see her, and she's always playing with Pastrana's kids, and I'm like, that's Jolene. Because like, I love Billy. Like Billy and I go way back. I'm super tight with Billy, but like his sister comes around, I clam up, super starstruck every time. No doubt.
There's our promo for our next episode with Jolene on. Get Michael clamming.
Funny ass. I watched Jolene do a double backflip on BMX like so long ago, and no one knew about it until the movie came out. It was crazy. And it was on like the gnarliest setup ever, like the quad flip, not the quad flip ramp, but the same quad flip setup. And
no way.
It was crazy, and she did it first try.
What?
Yeah, legit. It was crazy because she was going into the flat bag, and like I think they had it planned for her to do it, and I'm like, well, this is pretty gnarly. And then they set all the landing up, and she just did it first try. I was like, oh my gosh! And then she couldn't even like announce it for ages because of the movie, you know. So I just knew that she had done this insane double backflip. And when the movie came out, everyone found out about it. But she's just so gnarly.
Yeah, well, I mean, she's at the very forefront of the Nitro Circus brand being created, and you know, just paving a way to a bunch of other women, not just in Nitro Circus, but just action sports. Period. That you know, you're not a woman, like you can stand right next to these men and be just as kind of gnarly and talented and do the craziest things. I think every girl in modern day action sports has Jolene a lot to thank for, because she really kind of blazed the trail, and and made it kind of acceptable, which sounds stupid, but girls were not always welcome in a lot of action sports situations, which was a crazy line of thought when you think about it modern times. But girls like you asked Vicky Golden, for example, about Jolene, and like she kind of credits her whole career path to seeing what Jolene did 10 years earlier. And Jolene's not even old. Like she's like she's like the godmother of action sports, and she's not old.
I think it's so rad now that we have so many girls on tour. Like we have Vicky, we have Ellie, and they just like throw down so hard. I think that it's an important thing to have in the show. I'm so glad Nitro Circus has always kind of had, girls in the show, because they do hold their own, especially like Vicky and Ellie and Jolene. They all bring such a huge thing to the show.
Lindsay and Nikita as well. Like Lynn's can kind of dip out of the live tour for a couple of years, and then she can just turn back up with a skateboard, not even officially part of the tour, and just if she wants to ride, she's just like, let her go. And it's always great seeing her pink skateboard fly through the air. So I think shout out to all the women of Nitro Circus, because I think they push to make everyone else better for sure. Willie, I want to play you my favorite clip.
Okay.
So what I do is, believe it or not, the people watching, I actually do a little bit of research before each show, and everyone has seen all your Nitro Circus clips, right?
Yeah.
There's so many of them. There's so many world firsts. So I went for a deep dive into r-willy's YouTube channel. And I believe this might have been one of your first, Micah, watch this. This might have been might be your first ever Mad Gear edit, I think. Talk us through this.
Oh my God, this is when I use mattresses at the skate park to do tricks in my edit. It's got a good song too. I really like the song that I use, but I don't know. This is one of my favorite edits too. Just because it was kind of like off the cusp. It wasn't really planned. I was just trying to make a video for Mad Gear. And I'm actually using a $40 scooter from Kmart. Like, this was before Mad Gear actually made their first ever one-piece deck, which is like a deck that doesn't fold. This is back when scooters they just folded.
Yeah.
So,
and this is 2009, I think. So what are you, like 12, 14?
Yeah, 14.
Yeah.
So this is like, I would have just, did we go to America? Yeah, I think they were about to like go to America for the first time. But like, some of these tricks are pretty hard. I think I do like nose many weird. Yeah.
You know what? One of my favorite things about this whole clip is like, 12 years later, you are still shredding the exact same location.
Yeah, legit. I know. So I love that. I can't get enough of that skate park. I literally could live there. I could ride it every day. That I couldn't even do that now. What I just did then.
You can see the clamp on the middle of the thing.
Yeah, I used to hit the mattress to fronty faster.
What?
Hey, we had a comment from Curdy Boyer. Grew up being influenced by r-willy and kind of want him to be my best man at my wedding whenever I have one. So, Willie, what do you reckon? Keep in touch, Curdy boy.
That's pretty brutal. Like, I mean, I can for sure if it's close.
Yeah, done.
I can't do it.
Done. Yeah, dude. What sort of memories? What sort of memories does that bring back?
Oh man, it just there was a few clips there where I actually had tape on my shoe because I used to tape my shoes when they were breaking because I hated wearing new shoes and I still hate riding in new shoes. So I used to just tape my shoes a little bit if my toe popped out of them.
Okay, awesome. Well, mate, if you do your tax properly, you should be able to get a new pair of shoes and claim that on tax through Tax Act.
That's right.
Sign up for Tax Act for your chance to win a Travis Pastrana signed pit bike, a hot lap in a Nitro Rallycross course, and many more great prizes that we do not know. We're going to move on to another segment. I like this comment from Josh A793. I like that these days girls in the Nitro show aren't like a novelty. The girls aren't there just for girl power. They're there because they deserve to be and earned it. How good's that?
100%.
Josh A speak mad facts.
Vicky wins the friggin' whip contest hands down.
Oh, it's still one of the best parts of the show is when Vicky and McNeil go head to head in the whip and turn down, and it literally like you don't know who's gonna win. Like and when Vicky wins, she's done the biggest whip. It's not because she's a female, exactly like what Josh was saying there. So good observation, Josh A. It's a great comment. Gecko says great comment. Gecko's in here. Gecko said, damn, Willie, don't stop telling everyone my secrets.
Oh, no.
Sorry, bro. It's on the internet now.
He's going to have to try it now. That's why I said it.
You're making him held accountable. But Gecko's one of the great men and one of your longtime friends and part of the Heel Willy. I've got to work with him a couple of times. So I'm excited to get up there next month. Wednesday, April 7th. Those qualifiers are on, dude. Are you excited?
Yeah, of course I am. I can't wait. It's going to be like a big jam session. It's going to be like the biggest jam session I've had at my land.
Sick. Micah, I asked you to, for once, just to do a little bit of homework for the show, and it took you all of 30 seconds. So I want to play one of your favorite Nitro Circus clips. I just pulled one of the segments from the race for the quad flip. So Charlie, I want you to play this segment, and we'll just kind of talk about it over the top of it. It's basically the segment where Jed gets hurt for the first time and pulls out. So take it away, Micah. Tell me why you love this.
I love this because the answer can be answered by Ryan Williams. Ryan, what's the wildest thing you've seen done on your airbag in your backyard?
Quad backflip.
Yeah, it still holds. And Jed did this how many years ago? Like, the fact he rolled away, the fact James was trying it with him, the fact no one else, it's not something you even chase. It's not something you even think about. Like, I've heard one other person in my life outside of Nitro Circus ever tell me, I want to do a quadruple backflip. That's one person of the millions and millions and millions and millions of riders. It's just like, Willie, did you see it? Willie party and celebrate when he pulled his first triple the other day? Do you understand the tricks Ryan Williams has done? But with the weight he puts on just a triple backflip, like a quad backflip is unbelievable. It is insane. The fact Jed and James tried it to real landings is absolutely unheard of. Like skiers don't even do quad things. You know what I mean? Like they're kind of stuck at triple. Like it's anytime anyone asks me what my favorite stuff is, I'm gonna say it's gonna be these guys chasing that. Like Willie, you were there for
in the works.
Please do.
My mate Harley, he can do quads to the bag.
Yeah.
But that's different too. I guess that's different. It's different to do it to the landing, to do it to the bag, but I don't know. It's just I think that someone could do 5. I think that's possible. I think that Schmitty could do 5 with the right setup.
What
Jed
is the
told
right?
me, and he's gonna be mad, but Jed's gonna be mad I say this. He's not going to be happy I said this, but he said if someone did 4 to a real one, he'd do 5 just to have it. He's just waiting.
A real one, as in a real landing.
Yeah, if someone did a quad, do a real landing, he'd do a quint just to have it. But he doesn't feel like he needs to do it because no one's ever going to do a quad to a real one.
I don't know, dude. I reckon Schmitty could do it 100%. The way Schmitty landed to mine, he could. If that was wood, he would have landed it.
Right, but you saw Schmitty try that triple at Dirt Dogs in real life.
Yeah, but that was dirt to dirt.
These tricks are no joke.
That was dirt to dirt. I think that if it was ramp to dirt, Schmitty would have landed it at Dirt Dogs.
Think so?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. I think it's bike, bro, in my opinion, but no one holds that opinion.
He knows. Yeah. I think that
he could have just went around. I think he was using a shitty frame. That's what got him in.
Yeah, maybe.
So
I don't know. What do you think? Do you think anyone will ever do a quad again?
Yeah, 100%. I think that if someone had my setup and it was to what Schmitty quadded to, and if we just made that into dirt landing, 100% Schmitty would do that. I think so. If Schmitty would do it, I think that there's going to be someone in the future that will definitely do it. So Jed better strap his boots on and get ready to quint, baby.
Have you seen what Jed's? I talk to Jed all the time. He's starting schools out there.
That's sick.
He's getting kids. He's doing Big Air Academy. Jed is like going to be the national face of BMX in all of New Zealand, which he should be. Yeah, he's doing good stuff.
That's
we talk about you a lot too, though. We're stoked on what you're doing. Look at this video. Look at James. Look at this. Look at the roll-in. Did you ever see? Were you here for this, Brian? I wasn't at this.
No, I wasn't. Unfortunately, I came out for when they were practicing, and then I had to go when it all went down.
Did you see this setup though? This one that we're looking at now?
Yeah, so I seen that. I actually rode the quad flip ramp, and I nearly died on it. I actually nearly went off the side because I G'd out. I dropped in from where the BMXs go, like the very top on scooter, and it was raining.
Oh,
And I G'd out, and I nearly missed the flat bag.
no way. Like,
Was that
to the side
that he just did just then?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was like so clean. Like, I don't know, the way Schmitty did it at mine, dude. He could like crash and he was fine. So I think it was something like I think my jump is better to do a quad flip than this jump.
Oh. You see
I
him
think
turn at the end there?
I think this is the one where he broke his ribs. And
Yeah.
what a weapon James Foster is. I think he did 2 more jumps after breaking his ribs. Like, is pound for pound, he might be the toughest guy in BMX, right?
Yeah, he's pretty
Yeah.
tough.
He invented the triple. Don't ever discredit James. Like triple whips, like quad whips. He was the one that showed us we could do bars and triple, like such a combo master. Like his list of world's first is even before on Resi. He was doing them on dirt. He was doing dirt to dirt stuff that no one even thought about. He was the first guy to jump a house. James is an animal.
Yeah. But you've because he always looks like he's 21 years old. For the 10 years I've known him, he's looked the same age. He's looked like 21, and he's been doing this a long, long time. And I know this was like tough for him, not being ruled out, and then Jed kind of ended up being the first. But Foster will land that quad flip, and
Yeah, you should come do it at mine. I bet you could do it easy.
Bet you he
Yeah.
would.
hey,
I bet you could do
Micah,
it. Sure.
Micah mentioned you recently did your first ever triple flip.
Yeah. So I was just like, did it to the land. I did it on my flat bag, and I just got a new lip, and I was like, oh, I want to do a triple, and I thought I was like, I should be able to do it pretty easy, and I wanted to race my mates because I wanted to convince my mates to do it, and then sure enough, I convinced Gecko he was going to do it, but then he ended up hurting himself, and then my mate Harley, he landed it third try too.
Wow.
But yeah, I did it, and I was like, sweet, I did it. I did it first try, and then I was like, oh, that was so easy, I'm gonna do it again, and I did it shirtless, but that was pretty scary because I went like deep. But Tui was there, and Tui just talks about. He's like, yeah, bro, you could do it. He's like, yeah, bro, go do another one. You know what to do. You know where you're at. And I'm like, it is a triple flip, so I'm still kind of nervous, but
Hey.
yeah, it actually works really good on my ramp.
You've just smoked Gecko again, called him out again. He didn't join the triple club. Gecko, you still listening, bro? Sorry, mate.
He said that I still have to. I bet him $500 if he did, like, if he beat me, I give him $500, and if I beat him, he bought me a pair of jeans. But bit of unfair trade. But
I think, mate. I think you're straight from the Travis Pastrana school of peer pressure. There, it's like, I want you to do this, but I'm going to do it as well. So it's, I think well played indeed, Ryan, on some beautiful peer pressure. And Trav only does a $1 bet. You're doing $500 bets. So
well, I just know that as soon as he tries it, he can do it, and that's the same thing for like a lot of my mates. It's like you just got to convince them that they can do it, and then they try it, and then they can do it.
I think I've heard you say maybe on one of the interviews I've done with you that it's almost more satisfying for you when someone else lands a trick for the first time or a world first. Explain that mindset.
Yeah, it's more like so like if they're at my house and like I'm giving them tips or something, like, but usually they're doing a trick that I can't even do. So it's like I just feel like, or a trick that I don't think I could ever do. So it's like if they can come and do that at my house and like learn it because of my flat bag, I almost feel like I'm landing it with them.
Yeah, that's cool.
And it's like such a sick feeling to watch someone, progress action sports, because that's like kind of like what I'm all about now, is just seeing like what is possible. So that's why I wake up every day, ride the flat bag, and like just experiment with like what works, what doesn't work, or what could I make work, and then just see where that goes and see if I can pull it off to an actual landing, or take it to X Games, take it to Nitro World Games, and it's That's basically my mindset at the moment.
A bit of controversy I've noticed. I'm going to, you've been calling out my mate Gecko. I'm going to call you out. You've crossed over in the past, I would say, month to the dark side. You're a gym guy now.
Gym guy. I'm just saying I want to get out of bed early guy. Because if I don't get out of bed early, if I don't have anything to scheduled on, I don't really do anything because all my mates obviously work, so they're not riding till the afternoon. So I don't want to just sit around in my bed, just scroll on Instagram. So
win the morning, win the day. That's what they say.
Yeah, and that's why I didn't do it today because I had a few things to do. But I usually get out at 7 a.m. and do it because I know it gets me out of bed and then I'm ready to start the day, and I find I have a more productive day. So it's more for that than it is actually being fit
for aesthetics.
But obviously it's helping me stay fit, and I'm working out parts of my body that I never worked out before, so it's still gets me. Yeah. But then we do stuff that's more like riding, and I'm like, oh, this is sweet, I can do this easy. But then lifting weights, I'm dying.
Mate, we'll see in the Harry Bink and Matt Wyatt, Josh Sheen tour training regimes before you know it. Micah and I will not be there.
What about the Olympic? Are you going to join the Olympic boys? You and Luplos and Tui doing some of them.
Dude, that's a lot of people ask me about if I would go to the Olympics. So I'm like, dude, those guys are just on another level of riding. It's so different to what I do. I'm I might be consistent on the big ramp but that's one and done tricks. I can't do this back to back 60-second run, 20, 25 tricks, just being perfect and pumping perfect, landing perfect. I'm more of the guy that just strap me in, let's go, let's do the best, let's do the hardest trick. Even if it takes me 500 tries, I'm going to do it eventually. I don't know.
Did you just call yourself a hooker? Sure.
Yeah, I definitely am a hooker. I'm a hooker, but I'm sure? Calculated hooker.
Hookers don't do nose manuals around parks. Hookers don't do nose wheelie whips into anything and grinds and stuff.
Yeah, they do on their time off. They do 100%.
Todd's there right now. Todd's getting the training. I mean, you're lifting weights now. You'll be putting that Australian flag over your shoulders in 2020, whatever the next one is. I don't know, 28 maybe.
Yeah, if they put the big air in, I'll go. That'd be easier to judge. Why don't they put that in there? That's only one score.
If they built a concrete skate park like the Van series and they did that for the Olympics, would you try to do scooters for a concrete bowl contest?
I'd give it a go, but there's a lot of guys that just flog me at it, so I don't think I'd make it.
So unless it's a one jump, winner take all, Hazard County fest, you're not interested? Is that what you're saying?
I'm interested, dude. I'm so interested. I've always wanted to win a gold medal at the Olympics. That'd be so epic. I've always thought that, but it's just not my style, I guess. I just can't. There's some things you're just good at, and you just got to stick to what you're good at sometimes. And I could maybe get good, but not as good. Not Logan Martin good. Not Brandon Lupos good.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I could.
Absolutely, you could.
Maybe I could. If it was a bowl contest, more. It depends. I'm a realist. I'm a bit of a realist, so it's I'd have to put in a lot of work. Let's just say that. I'd have to put in more work than I want to put in. That's saying that much. I'd rather stick to having fun and make YouTube videos and hang out with with legends. Sorry. Oh my god, swearing. My bad.
Hey, Willie, swear more time than me today. Yeah, good.
You can swear here. Does it interest you what they're doing? Do you like watching what they're doing, or are you more?
100%. I'm a Logan Martin fanboy, and Brandon Lupos. Those two dudes, I'm they gotta win. They gotta win. They gotta beat. They gotta take home the gold. Otherwise, I'm gonna be very disappointed because I'm a fanboy of them.
We're betting. I'm taking Nick Bruce whenever you want to gamble.
What's Nick Bruce gonna do? Dude, every trick Nick Bruce can do, Lupos can do.
Sandoval's probably gonna get it, I bet. But
no, he's not, dude. The judge depends who's judging.
Van Homan.
Yeah, see, Sandoval never gets a good score. He's not winning. Maybe if he got judged right, he'd win. I'm joking.
Browny? Let's do it whenever you're ready.
Well, I think we're excited, aren't we, Willie? Because next month we're filming for 2.5 weeks a new digital series called Navigate Brisbane, all around Brisbane, and we get to we're graced with the presence of Logan and Lupos for 3 days. We're doing 3 days of BMX demos at the Brisbane Cycling Festival, and all the Olympians in all the other cycling disciplines are going to be there, and it's going to be like 25,000 people across 3 days. And Nitro World Games is the star attraction closing each night of the festival. And the squad, this BMX squad that we get is Willy, Tui, Matt White, and the two Olympians, Lupos and Logan. It's like
Wow.
And they're all Queenslanders. It's like, it's so gnarly to think that these guys all grew up in the backyard, and Brisbane Cycling Festival is going to in for a real treat from April 9th, 10th, and 11th, or whatever it is.
It's pretty crazy. Thinking about Queensland BMX
IRL
right now.
IRL that show, somebody, please. Someone live that show. That sounds incredible.
I think I'm going to be the MC of it, so Micah, I might need your help.
I got you.
I steal your job.
Yours.
Anyone,
you have it.
No way. You're the best in the business, mate. Anyone out there got any questions for Willie or Micah? I can see, are we going to UK for Nitro Circus this year? That would be a no. UK's got to get COVID a little bit better under control before we can kind of entertain. Listen, a lot of the Nitro Circus is Australian, and we're happy to be stuck on our island over here, but we don't want to be stuck on the British island that you removed us from 233 years ago. So no, at this stage, hope maybe end of next year, but no, at the moment, no. What?
I got a question. I wonder if Logan Martin's going to make it in the. I wonder if Logan Martin's going to be in the best trick contest at Nitro World Games.
He has said at the moment his preference is no. He at the moment. I think that could change. I know, like at the moment, he's obviously really Olympic focused.
True. Yeah.
He was in the top 11 invite list, and he hasn't confirmed. So he has indicated that his preference is just to do the triple hit. And then when I say just to do the triple hit, like that's just as gnarly. Who I think. How many guys are doing both? Buckworth, Tui, maybe?
I should have. I reckon I could nearly go triple hit. Now I'm thinking about it.
Exclusive? Is that an exclusive?
Yes, Willie.
I could nearly do it. I think I got 3 tricks.
Straight jump the first 2 and banger the third one and confuse all the judges so they don't know what to do with themselves.
Nah, dude, I'll just double flip every set.
Micah, on a scale of 1 to 199, how disappointed in Teal 72 are you today?
I don't want to bring up his dad right now, but I just feel like they both need to man up and get to Australia immediately. Trevor Teal, come on, people. They're scared of 2-week quarantine. Who doesn't want to be quarantined where there's Jurassic Park style, palm trees and lizards and bin chickens? If you've never seen a bin chicken, you haven't lived, man.
My chat's not learning. Yeah.
Willie, are we going to see a triple fronty in BMX Big Air at Nitro World Games?
No, ask Echo. I might do it. I haven't done. I haven't even done. I did one the other day to my bag, but not the way I do it. So I have to practice a bit more.
When did you land that world first triple fronty?
It was when Rona passed away. I think 2 days after.
2015. Shit. And
yeah, but it's crazy because I think I've tried I think I've landed maybe 6 or 7 out of 20.
Yeah.
So it's a hard one to land, because it's not like the triple backy because you're going against your momentum. And then what happens is when you're landing, you get so much force in your arms because you're landing with the weight chopping to your hands. So I always land so heavy. So half the time when I land it, I'm landing it just crumbling but still rolling away.
Yeah.
It's such a gnarly trick.
Yeah, right. Willie, I think you can take this question. Ollie Watkins asked, what is a bin chicken?
A bin chicken, if you want to Google it, it's an ibis, and they basically live around trash. So us Australians call them bin chickens because they just like live at dumps and live where rubbish is, and they just kind of look scary.
Yeah, and it's not to be confused with the bush chook, which is kind of our version of the turkey. I don't know what the real version of it is, but the bin chicken and the bush chook are two different things, but they hang around in the same areas. Is there a web edit 4 in the making?
It's not in the making at the moment, but if I was to make it, I think I would do more of a, like more of a Red Bull Monster kind of video, like a high end something where I don't have to do 5 years worth of first to make it, but it's high production.
Hey, I got a question for you. Who is the most random famous person your scooter has allowed you to meet?
Dana White.
Dana White. Good answer. Tell us about that little friendship you have with Dana White.
So what happened was we had a Nitro Circus show in Melbourne, and then I knew that Dana had messaged me, and he had because he posted. Yeah, he slid into my DM. So I reposted. He reposted my video, and then he DM'd me. He's like, you're the craziest BMX rider dude I've ever seen. Blah blah blah. I'm like, thanks, dude, so much. I love the UFC. I see that you got a show. A UFC in Melbourne the day after our Nitro show. Would you like to come? Would you like to come see the show? And then he's like, yeah, that'd be sick. And then I'm like, Nathan, we need to look after this guy. We need to look after Dana, dude. It's going to be sick. And Nathan fully got him sick tickets. And then he came down on the field and was next to the ramp when we were landing. And it was so dope. I think I actually made a YouTube video about it. And then the next day he got me front row seats next to Thor, Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah.
And I fully went to the UFC next to Thor and Matt Damon. And it was just so sick. And then, Dana gave me his number. And ever since then, I've been able to go to UFC fights. I've been to 3.
Yeah, I went to I went and got Dana White from because we put him in a private suite at Melbourne's Marvel Stadium, and I brought him down onto the show set, and it's the most excited I've ever seen. Every single athlete got a photo with Dana White in that time, and we're trying to get Curtis Downs and Todd Mine up to the top of the ramp because they're meant to be riding the show, and everyone's lined up to get a photo with Dana. I've never seen, including myself, mind you. And I remember our head of security, Pat Fegan, running over trying to get Dana White off the show set because he hadn't signed the waiver to be on there. And I'm like, Pat, listen, mate, this is one of the most famous people in the world. I'm not telling him to get off the show set. And
he's literally he's super famous because the UFC now and how huge the UFC is. Everyone kind of knows who he is. It's pretty wild.
UFC was the first sport to get back up and running in the COVID in the post-COVID. So he is just we were so lucky. I got to spend about half an hour with him and just kind of listening to him talk about UFC branding and his vision for what he thought of Nitro Circus and Ryan Williams. It was just he's got to be one of the smartest men on the planet, not just one of the most well known. So that's a good answer. Micah, who's the most random person your BMX has allowed you to meet?
I met Jay Leno on Nitro Circus. Remember
that? San Diego. What was that show?
I don't know. He was there and everyone was getting pictures, and it was my turn to get a picture. My phone didn't work, so I just threw it as far as I could, and he didn't want to stand near me anymore.
Oh, I wasn't at that show because we were up in Tahoe for Crumb's wedding. Remember, half the cast wasn't there, and half the cast was at the wedding. Half the cast was at that San Diego show with Jay Leno. Ollie Watkins. Oh, the questions are flying in. Ollie Watkins, do you watch UK football? Do you mean soccer? Yeah, a little bit, probably. That's the thing with action sports athletes. We're not really ball sports guys, are you?
No, I watched State of Origin.
Yeah, he's talking about the Premier League, Liverpool.
Yeah, I know, but where did we go that time? Was that place Manchester United? And we're at
Wait, is
I got
Stadium
the-
Origin like Game of
Yeah,
Thrones
Old Trafford.
style, or is it?
Yeah, that's a good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went to Old Trafford, Ollie. We weren't allowed to touch the grass. So yeah, we went to Old Trafford because we've done a couple of shows in Manchester. We've been to Birmingham. Birmingham. Where else have we been? We went to soccer in was it Russia? Did we go and watch some soccer in Russia? I think it was some random on that Russian tour that we all pretend never happened. Action sports takes 2 balls. That's
You know what I
what's
miss?
up.
I miss the American tours where we would go to like the hockey the night before or the basketball. That was dope. And then we'd get like I have like a bag full of all the different jerseys because we'd always get hooked up with the jerseys. I was sick. Oh look, here we go.
What have I got?
What do you got? Utah Jazz? What do you got?
I got the Chicago
Cleaning
Bulls.
is off.
Yeah, Chicago Bulls
Woo!
with the Nitro Circus on the back. So from that
Damn.
exact we got.
Oh yeah, we'd get jerseys. We'd get jerseys to come out in, right?
Yeah,
Sometimes to like in the.
everyone would ride in one of the home team jerseys.
That's
Curdy
dope.
Boy, I remember first meeting r-willy and the crew just south of Newcastle in 2014. I was so scared and felt kind of bad because I interrupted r-willy scoffing down a sausage sanger just to give me an autograph. Lol. Good question. Not really a question.
Just a statement. That's nice.
Yeah. Kind of an apology. Never interrupt an Australian eating a sausage sanger.
I get like kids come up to me and they say stuff like that and they're like, "Do you remember this?" And I'm like, "Far out, I don't know, dude." Like, I'll get like kids come. They remember I was that kid that had the orange grips at the toilet. I'm like, "What are you talking about? I remember this." I was like just some weird spot, and people just are like, they remember it. I guess it's because I meet so many people, but it's like I wish I could remember. I wish my memory was good enough to just remember absolutely everyone's. Like first time I meet everyone.
Before you say, Micah, you haven't read that chapter of the Travis Pastrana, What It's Like to Be Famous book where you just pretend you remember and, he's great. And say, "Hey, man, good to see you again." And he's like got no clue who he's talking to. And it's not just
my favorite interaction with Willie and a fan is when a guy came up to me and said, "Willie, I'm the guy that fought that kangaroo." And you're like, "No, you're not." And the guy's like, "Look at the video." And he played the video of the guy fighting the kangaroo. And Willie's like, "Micah, come here." And then we all went and met the dude and we got pictures with him. And sure enough, it was the guy that fought that kangaroo.
I do remember. I remember that guy.
That's the funniest story because I think it might have been about 6 months earlier on the American tour. We all got to meet the guy that shot Osama bin Laden. And that was like quite amazing to meet that guy. But 6 months later, I think all the Aussies were more excited to meet the kangaroo fighter because that was just iconic vision.
He's a Nitro fan, of course. He should be.
Pull that shit up, Charlie.
Hey, cruelty to animals is not supported by us or by our presenting partner, Tax Acts, but self-defense. Self-defense, like tax, is a necessary evil. So sign up to get your tax done at Tax Act and going the chance to win a bunch of cool prizes, highlighted by a Travis Pastrana signed pit bike. So, yeah, that's a good segue there. Charlie, what else do we need to do today? Oh, Willie, guess what's happening tomorrow?
What's happening tomorrow?
The Superchargers Australia in Brisbane is being officially announced. So I was not meant to say that.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Coming tomorrow. There you go. There's our exclusive for the day.
That is an exclusive. It's actually Friday for the United States folks. Tomorrow for the.
Here's the thing. I'm Ron Burgundy when it comes to. I'm going to read what's put on the teleprompter by Petey. So. Yeah, big announcement coming tomorrow. Delete. Nitro World Games 2019 Top 10 is live now on YouTube. After Hours Episode 7 premieres on Friday also. You've enjoyed watching After Hours? Are you watching that at the moment, Willie?
Yeah. My favorite one was Micah at the skate park. Yeah. Yeah, Micah. As if we don't have that vision.
Yeah, we do. We've got our. Can you play our teaser, Charlie? Because that's the headline part of that.
Oh my god! I thought this was never going to see the. I thought this was never going to see the light of day.
It's been sitting on
I
our
was hoping.
2 years.
Oh, so close.
Willie, next clip is Willie
They're
folded over.
trying to get us to
laughing
record
at
a
me,
proper
just
promo
dying.
about what is the Micah and Brownie show.
Oh.
That's Micah.
Oh,
This is an Australian. His name is Browny.
He kept yelling at me.
We're going to
Lean
talk
back,
a lot
lean
of things,
back. I never.
a lot of rubbish.
No,
a lot
lean
of action
forward,
sports,
dude.
A lot of exclusives.
Remember that
What
wedge
else,
in the
Micah?
Widowmaker?
I'm gonna lie a lot.
That's
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
good.
no, it's pretty
Hey,
brutal.
producer, is that a good promo?
Hey,
Oh, I
what's it
deserved
like,
it.
Willie, seeing your kind of life immortalized forever, and moments like Micah doing that, trying to teach him how to ride a scooter and it going so horribly wrong, but it's just immortalized on the internet forever. Like, does that still trip you out?
Yeah, it does. It kind of the thing that trips me out so much is that like in the future, like when I'm like old, I can still watch that, and like people that maybe if I have kids or whatever, like they can watch that, which is kind of crazy. I mean, I'm sure there's people that like now that have parents that are like or grandparents that were on TV, and that would like be crazy to watch. But I feel like it's gonna be like pretty weird. It's gonna be cool, really cool, but it's gonna be pretty weird to like everyone can just go see, you know, like 500 hours or however many hours of footage is online of me, and they can just watch 500 hours of my life just on the internet whenever they want.
Yeah, it is. It'll never not be trippy, I don't think. Just
Yeah.
being able to even last night when I spent about an hour just looking for a couple of clips for this show today, and just seeing you, like, you're literally growing up on a YouTube channel. And then the Nitro Circus channel as well, because you had a camera in your face long before you're on Nitro Circus.
Yeah, just filming like my scooter stuff, and I don't know. I've been pretty hardcore into the YouTube like the past 3-4 years. So there's that, but then there's even like
1.5. 1.5. Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
1.6 million. How? What? Who? How?
I don't know, but I mean, there's my mates that are just killing it as well. Like you got the Tanner Fox guy; he's like on over 10 million now. So it's like, I don't know. I just keep getting footage out, and the biggest thing to me was I'd go to like shows, and kids would be able to tell me all these things that I've done, and I'm like, wow, they must it must really impact them because they can remember all these moments that they've seen on YouTube, and that was like the biggest eye opener for me was how much it meant just to be able to like watch these videos and like be inspired to go out and ride, and how much impact it must have because they remember it so well. So I was like, wow, like maybe this is what I should be doing, like focusing a lot of my time on to maybe inspire more and more people. So that's kind of like why I keep doing the YouTube stuff all the time. And it's cool because like I can do it with my friends, and then I have a filmer, Arnie, now that absolutely kills it. So it's not so much of a jeopardy on me to like have to hold the camera and film myself. He kind of just is there and he films it, and it's so easy that way, and I can be so much more fluid, and it's just it's good, and I love doing it. And yeah, it's been good to have while like we haven't been on tour and stuff, but I'm keen to get back on tour and film, because that's when a lot of people really miss like being able to see the Nitro Circus YouTube videos, because I think that then they're kind of like on tour with us and can experience some of it.
I ask you a question. You've got lots of co-stars in your YouTube content. Would it be fair to say you are willing to sacrifice anyone or anything, and possibly a blood-related relative, to get the content you need?
No. Oh, I know what you're segueing to.
Segue complete.
You know what? My mum actually didn't really want to announce this that much, but I recently did a video. I recently did a video where I made a water slide down at my land. It was Australia Day video. If you've seen it, you would know that I had a water slide set up. It was pretty big, pretty massive. Everyone was doing it, and I convinced my mum to actually do it. And then in the video, you see her do it. She lands in the water, and then she's like, it doesn't really show her after that. And the reason why it didn't show her after that is, I'll show you right here. As she went through the transition of the video, of the slide, it wasn't a very nice like transition. So it kind of hurt her back, and I'll show you. I'll show you how bad. That is my mum's.
Oh my goodness.
That is my mum's spine crushed. Her vertebrae crushed.
Dude.
So yeah.
Dude.
And how is Donna? Donna. I think anyone who's an R-willy fan knows.
She's paraplegic. No, she's not paraplegic. But geez, I'm so glad she's all right. But she's so tough. She actually got out of the water, and she's like, "Oh, my back feels funny." And I was like, "Oh, you've never hurt your back before, have you?" And she's like, "No, I've never hurt my back before." So I was like, "Oh yeah, that's kind of normal to feel discomfort when you've hurt your back." And then she went to the doctors, and they were like, "Oh yeah, just let us know how it goes." Didn't get any X-rays, and then sure enough, it didn't get better. So now she's in like a back brace, but she's totally fine. Like she even mowed the lawns at r-willy before she knew her back was actually broken like that, which is probably, mowing lawns is not very good for your back. So she's all right, and she's walking around. She's sweet, but she's got to heal up because you don't want to screw around with your back. Because I've broken my back too, and it's not fun.
Absolutely not. Couple of birthdays. Harry Bink turns 27 on Sunday. And does anyone want to guess how old Bo Bamberg turns on Sunday?
No comment. You'll beat me up.
40.
No, absolutely no comment. I think 41. Let's say 41. The King of Whip It Wednesday. So it's his day today. Whip It Wednesday. The creator of the Whip It Wednesday craze, phenom. I think on that note, we probably just about wrap that up, Willie. So, buddy, thanks so much, dude. What you're doing for Action Sports is amazing, and this guys, you've got to follow the links. And if you think you deserve a spot in these qualifiers, like we're watching every single video. Ryan is, the judges are. So that hashtag Nitro World Games qualifier is check it out. And if you think you've got what it takes, post your video. The link's just been posted as well for the to the Tax Act to win those prizes. So, Willie, man, thank you, dude. You do so much for me on a personal level as well, man. So it's an absolute pleasure to have you, an hour and a half of you today. So thanks, pal.
No worries. Chilling. And yeah, make sure everyone, even if you know someone that is really good and you think should be in the Nitro World Games competition, make sure you let them know. DM them or share their videos if they post it. So get the word out there so we see it, because I want to see the craziest guys get the chance to do the craziest tricks and push Action Sports as far as it can go. And I can't wait for October 23rd, 24th, Nitro World Games, Suncorp Stadium, just down the road from my house. It's going to be so epic, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it so much.
Thanks, dude. And Micah, always, we say it every week, it's our favourite part of the week. So, buddy, thanks for spending the time, and I look forward to maybe you reporting from a new surprise location next week as well.
Yep. I'll let you know where I'm at. I don't know where I'll be.
Yep. All right, legends. I love you, boys. Thanks for everyone who tuned in, guys. I think this is a real fun show, and we love doing this, and we've got a small but dedicated audience. But thank you for tuning in. And Gecko, you better get to work on that ramp, brother.
Alrighty, thank you all so much for all the support. Trevor Teal with 3 gifted subs during the stream to r-willy's mom, and also Curdy Boy and Harley Rides. So enjoy those subs. And also Gecko with the 100 bits. Thank you so much. You guys are the best. Love seeing you every day that we stream. Our next stream will be next Tuesday night for Nitro Circus League iRacing. That's Open iRacing League. If you go to the iRacing member site and go to leagues, look up Nitro Circus League. It's open to anyone. We're doing a epic enduro race next week, so come join that. And then the week after that will be We'll be back to start of season 2, a new season of Nitro Circus League. Lots of fun announcements coming along with that. And then next Wednesday, Micah and Browny will be live once again at the same time with the veteran Nitro athlete Josh Roberts, Contraption King. This man has ramped the craziest things you've ever seen. It's going to be a fun one, so make sure you all come check it out. And then, whoops, there comes the video. That's next. And if you're looking in chat, hit that follow button. We're live at least twice a week. We're trying to add more streams, so join our Discord !Discord in chat to come and give us ideas for what other things you'd like to see on our channel. That's it. Have an awesome rest of your week. And thanks again for all the support. On behalf of Thrill One Sports and Entertainment, that's Nitro Circus, Street League Skateboarding, Nitro Rallycross, and Thrill One Media Productions. I keep forgetting, we keep adding things, so there's a bunch of stuff. Thrill One, thanks you for all the support. My name is Charlie, and we will see you next time.